Why would a grid company be interested in disruptive technology?
Yeah, well, the answer to that is actually that we as grid company, we ensure that everybody has energy. And energy is one of the most important things in our life. So if there is no energy, there is no light, there is no car, there is no refrigerator. And what we want to do is to not only sustain this in the world of today, but also look at all the crazy things in the world of tomorrow and ensure that there will be energy for everybody in a fair way.
So you're trying to predict the future in a sense, but no one can. So how do you know what's going to happen?
Yeah. The question, how do you look at the future is nobody knows the future. But what do we know? We know the disruptions from the past. So what I would like to do as an experiment is take somebody of 1995 who just heard about internet or email or www and put him beside me. And let's say this guy has a CD store.
In 1995? Wow.
Yeah, in 1995. And now he looks in the world of today and what he will see is that we will build shops on the internet with 1,000 times the amount of storage he has. His product will be free, but then it's piracy. So you have Apple who sells it for €1, and now you have Spotify who streams his product. This guy will say, first, this is ridiculous, this will never happen. Then in the second step is he sees it happening, he says, it's crazy. And now in the world of today, we know that's normal. So what we do is crazy thought experiments which are aimed at your reaction that you say, this is crazy, or this is dangerous. Because if you say it's crazy or dangerous, we know that it could be the things that happen in the next 15 years. Crazy thought experiments, and let's do one together. So, in 5 steps, something which is absolutely crazy. Step 1. Autonomous cars, we have all been thinking about it. Autonomous cars can do everything you want on the blockchain. So what they do is they would make money driving people from A to B. And of course they need some services, they need energy, they need their washing, they need some repairs. And then if they bring you from A to B, they get money. Of course, an autonomous machine could do all those transactions on the blockchain. If you look at Germany, they did a very nice experiment called terrazero.org. What they created there was the first self-owned forest. So a forest is a thing, and they made it so that it can maintain itself. You have a satellite picture, it's taken every half year. The satellite pictures determines what trees to cut, they sell it to a lumberjack, the lumberjack pays the money, gets the location, and so the thing has an incoming money stream and is basically self-owned. In the World Economic Forum, there are now articles about self-owned assets. This is the crazy element we're going to work with in step 2. Because, of course, we heard Stefan yesterday, and he took the very ambitious models of Amber, who said 700 cars for Eindhoven. We are going to do it, grid operators are much more traditional. So what we are going to use is 20,000 cars of a city of 50,000 people. But what we are going to do is we're going to make those assets self-owned. We're going to do a Kickstarter. And what we're going to say to the people is, you pay for the cars, but do you not become the owners? You only get rides 5 times cheaper as you are used today. We did research, it's actually 5 times cheaper. So you pay a lot less. But we have one trick. If we do a Kickstarter, we only get in 10,000 cars, we need 20,000, so we're going to ask a bit more money. So what will happen is, as soon as we start the system, you get more cars in and more cars in until you reach the level of 20,000 cars. And then you have something very strange. You have cars who don't care about the money. And money that you don't need because the cars are enough. And this money is piling up and piling up. So what we do then is we change the system and we give this money as basic income to the people of the Netherlands. A little bit of basic income and an extremely little bit, but basic income. So 5 times cheaper, and now it's generating basic income. And of course, what we can do is we can repeat that trick in the periphery. All the machines who do the services for the cars can also be self-owned machines. So what would happen is that those machines don't have an urge for money, both. I don't need the money, I don't need the money. So the basic income in the system rises.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. A third step is you don't need the cars all the time. But we already had them at charging place. So what we can do is we use those cars to drive around and distribute energy. So you have a moving grid. That means you have disrupted two infrastructures, not only mobility, but also energy. What is super cool is that we can then rethink cars. Cars can be elements which, if they break, can be 3D printed again. So we can make the car much more efficient. And then the only thing which such an ecosystem would use is 3D printers, materials, a little bit of raw material, and all the other things would be on that crazy layer we call the internet. So what happens if a second city wants such a thing? They cannot go to a company because we are at a level that no company can compete. But what they can do is they can do the Kickstarter themselves. And every city which takes this proposition ensures that there is more basic income for the people of the Netherlands. And of course in Germany for the Germans, and France for the French.
Yes, of course. Right. Was there a question attached to this, to the audience?
No, it's more that you are the people of the hackathons, and we are working on this on hackathons. So I just want to tell you about the resources. Everything we produce open source on GitHub. We have people actually building systems like this. So on March 16, we have a webcast with BigchainDB who have built a game on IOTA having this kind of narratives in a game, but all the transactions are real. So you have BigchainDB, you have Digital Twin, you have a gaming engine. If you like these kind of elements for your next hackathon, please connect to me so that I can send you the materials and we can build a lot of crazy shit together.